We interrupt this program with a special report.
I got a message for all you folks out there in Radio Land. So sit tight and bend an ear.
Welcome back, everyone, to another week of the Manga Monday Show. My name is Ben, and I'm with my co-host, Edgar.
Is here. We're here. We're back.
Edgar. Maybe. Oh, you know that this was. Statistically, this was somebody's first impression of us.
And that's it. Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna move.
Like, well, that's enough for the internet.
Yeah.
Well, welcome back, Edgar. Welcome back. How was your week? How's everything going?
It's been great. We've been on a 2-week or like a week and a half break since technically we recorded 2 episodes for the first time.
Yes,
Look at us being productive.
yeah. Because last week we got a nice little One Piece special that we recorded on the same podcast, so no news and stuff like that. However, in response to that, we got a lot of news because it's like 2 weeks of news have just piled up on our doorstep.
That's what happens when you don't touch it for a while.
Exactly, and you're just like, oh. And there are some pretty big stories in there and some pretty silly stories as well. But yeah, Edgar, how have your past 2 weeks have been?
For me, it's been, well, the first week it was like a lot of like anime kind of catch up, just like watching like a lot. Right. I pretty much the same thing. Nothing like too in particular. I've been watching. I picked up I've been rereading. I'm sorry, picking it back up on. Oh my god, how am I forgetting the name of these animes that I'm watching? My anime list is going under some maintenance right now, and so is Crunchyroll, so I can't pick it up back up. I'm stupid. That's my fault. It's Devil is a part-timer. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah.
I also picked up Engage Kiss, and I was recommended Lycoris's Recoil by Alex.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to watch that because the animation on that looks like, spectacular.
Yeah.
Other than that, just reading a lot of One Piece lately. Reading One Piece, reading a light novel that I'm another one.
How far are you in Skypiea?
I'm where the balls. Well, they defeated the ball guy.
I'm where the balls are.
The balls? That's where I'm at.
That's where I'm at.
No,
okay.
but that's
NL?
Who's that?
The lightning dude.
I don't think I know who that is.
Okay, no.
But Chopper, the Sky Knight saved Chopper, and I think they're still fighting. The Sky Knight's fighting that one guy that was blowing up the ship and whatnot.
Right.
And Luffy and Usopp and I think Sanji. Yeah, it's Sanji. They just caught up to the boat again.
Yeah.
Where
relatively enjoying this arc? Is it?
It's all right. I feel like, but then again, I feel like there's a point in every arc where I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get bored. Not bored, but I kind of get burnt out. It is over 200 chapters now. Yeah. So I feel like a drag coming on. Yeah. But
we'll see what you think about Water 7.
I do hear a lot of talk. I know this is a really arc in terms of One Piece.
Well, some people really like it, and they say a lot of people say that it's the groundwork for it sets the groundwork for other bigger things.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that already is set up in Alabasta.
All I heard is that its funny moments is the high points of it. But I hear that a lot of people don't like it. And consider it one of the worst arcs in One Piece.
Yeah, I definitely I don't think it's a bad one, but I do think it is because One Piece is so good in my opinion. I don't think it's a bad arc.
It's just a bad batch of
I
the
think
goodness
it is
of
one of the worst.
Yeah.
Just because it I don't know, to me it just radiates. I know it has some major story elements, but to me it kind of radiates the feel of a filler arc, like something that would show up in the anime.
Yeah,
as a filler arc.
I kind of get that.
Yeah, this is better. It reminds me of like the movie, like a One Piece movie.
Okay.
Like a side adventure.
Yeah.
And I think that's
where
because
it feels like still obviously One Piece, but like it's like you feel like it's not like the world like is like not revolving around this one.
But I understand it, and we'll talk about this when you get to Water 7. I think Oda needed to do this arc to make the next arc so serious.
Okay.
He needed to have a little fun adventure, and then next arc is more serious.
But it's not this arc's fault. There's still things I like about it. I just feel like the
ending is great too. The ending is really good.
Okay, I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
It'll be done with it soon. So I like we said before, that episode, that saga will be wrapped up pretty shortly and put out, fairly soon. It's a short one.
That'll be out soon. Also, God, last week we uploaded the Syrup Village arc. My God, the editing in that. I was watching it.
You texted me.
I watched it twice, and I was like, oh my God, this is edited. Like, I was like, I need to...
Did I pay someone to do this?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it kind of feels like. But I think this is where I kind of reach my peak on what I can and can't do. I think, because we're using videos now.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully you get better.
Well, we get better.
I'm not saying that
like
a new point, a new peak.
Of course.
I guess, yeah.
But this is like, and you'll see it when it comes out. But yeah, it's like, it's really good. And it's easier the way that I'm doing it. But it's a little bit time consuming, but it's a lot of fun. So definitely check that out. Because the editing, I'm going a little bit ham on it. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that's great. So just reading, One Piece. I was writing a lot like this past.
Oh, right.
Well, like not writing. Well, I was writing a lot, but I was editing so much on the web novel that I put out. I made an announcement.
I know. I listened to the end of the podcast.
Yeah, I want to talk about it because
you
made your announcement on the one shot, but we never really talked like in depth on like how both of us did that. So I was like, mine real quick because I already kind of talked about it, but I was like editing so much on it, and like my main issue was like I feel like I'm putting in too many words, I'm describing too much of everything, but at the same time like. Did I even mention blank? Either way, it's called Assassin's Hunter. I'll put the links in the description as well as Ben's one shot in this one too. Either way, I'm so happy that I put it out. I had such a high where I'm like, it's out there. It's done. Like
we should eat somewhere not too nice, but we should eat somewhere nice after the podcast.
Yeah, I felt really, really good. I never feel like I would have ever done this ever. Yeah. It is one chapter, but that's the point. I have a bunch up to draft up. All I need to do is edit them and then post them. I'll be posting them like sporadically within the coming weeks. And I feel really excited about it. I've never felt like this in like a long time.
Feel great?
Yeah. I'm like, we're doing it. Like,
exactly. And it's also like sometimes I get in this feel of like I'm like, oh man. Well, Isayama started writing Attack on Titan when he was 18, Oda started when he was my age, when he was 23. And I'm like, but then you also look at other people and you look at, Furudate, who wrote Haikyuu. He started when he was 29, Well, not started, but he got serialized when he was 29, So it's like, this is a necessary process, and we'll get there. If we try hard enough.
Don't put like goals at certain years in your life. It can be like a long time. And like I said before, the fact that I did it, even if it doesn't like end up being as successful, I already feel a lot better in my life knowing that I put that out there.
Especially
saying that I did something.
Especially with how I plan to do it. Like I plan to have kind of like how Miura did Berserk. I plan to have a group of people. Like a team working on it because I want to write multiple. And I don't think I'd be able to do the sole mangaka. Because I don't want to, number one, die early. And number two,
health issues I don't want.
And number two, I probably can't do it because I don't have that artistic talent.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, but that's great. You want to give us what is it about?
It's about a young assassin in a cyberpunk world, year 2082.
Superpunk.
Cyberpunk. Yeah. When Ben mentioned the contest, he's like, "Hey, you can pick a topic about cyberpunk." Like, great. My topic is already on.
I knew you were, and I was like, yeah, he's gonna go crazy for this.
Yeah, like foaming at the mouth, crazy. But it's in a cyberpunk world, and essentially he is like a very young assassin, like 17 years old. Yeah. Even though that hasn't been revealed in the official thing, but it doesn't matter. So he's trying to get by through life, like basically taking out the crime lords and like the political corrupt people in the world. Feels it justifying himself, even though he's doing all this killing. So he feels like he's like not a great person, but like I'm not down them with the rest of them. Yeah. So, but he's trying to find a way out of this and collecting all the money he can to get off world, basically. Yeah. And he runs into a girl that'll essentially change like everything about his life, and it has a lot of twists, has a lot of this and that. I feel like will be really cool. Either way, this is like a story I've been working on for a while.
Are you thinking? So, I mean, I'm also drawing the cover for this. So, are you thinking more? I know you sent me a picture. Are you thinking more industrial kind of cyberpunk?
Think
like
Blade Runner,
dirty,
essentially.
Yeah, dirty,
but like
gritty,
American, but like not so far fetched, like modernized, but like think cyberpunk. It's not cyberpunk. Think like Blade Runner, essentially. Good. Like everything's like, dark but pretty with lights and like,
of course,
like influences from like Japan and Tokyo and whatnot. And it's just really, I'm like coming up with these gadgets that seem like kind of funny, but they're really cool and I really like it a lot. Yeah. But like I'm writing this and like I feel like I'm putting like too much I'm writing like I'm giving out more information than I should. It's like a first trial. I have no idea what I'm doing at the same time. I'm reading like, wow, that's really good how they did that. Like I'm rereading like George R. R. Martin's like, oh man, that's so good. I'm like reading, I'm like typing down phrases like I read it all the time. Why can't I remember vocabulary in my head?
George R. R. Martin, he's just brilliant at like expanding the world like in a sentence. Like you say, like you hear Ned Stark and he's like, the Manderleys like contacted us, and then we don't hear about the Manderleys until book 3 when Bruce Bolton tries to marry his daughter to one of the Manderleys, and then they become a pivotal part on the war in the North. Yeah, jeez,
I'm rewatching Game of Thrones, and like they'll say a line that's like. It's genius, like world building at its like purest form, and I absolutely love it. Yeah. But my big issue is vocabulary. Like you feel like you know all the words, and even though you read like so many words, you're like, I can't keep saying said. Like it's just so stupid. How am I like running a blank on like describing things, and I'm like picking up like, oh, okay, that's what it is. Yeah, that was my issue.
I'm really lucky with like with comics. Like it's just like the
I was like, you're so lucky.
Really easily to write.
I have to describe and remind what the weather is like, or how everything looks and feels. While you're like, ooh, I draw.
I draw. Yeah, exactly. We don't have to say that.
But that comes with its own like its own.
Oh, you have to draw it.
Yeah, like I have to do it. Yeah. Otherwise, I know it'll be white.
Yeah, exactly.
With, just real quick before we move on, with your one shot, how did you come upon like the story? Like this is what I'm gonna do first. Did you want to go bigger, or did you feel like you have to restrict yourself or something?
Not restrict. Not go.
Obviously, you want to save like the biggest for last.
Of course, but I'm planning on writing. I am doing. I'm currently in the phase of writing 5 one-shots, and then at the end of the year, I'm going to apply all of those one-shots when I get out of school, and then just continue to peddle ideas and stories out until somebody's like, hell yeah, man, let's do it. So this first one was just a trial, a test run to figure out digital art, hand-drawn art, what works for me, what doesn't. This was completely digitally drawn except for the first panel. But I am going to be more. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to sketch it, then I'm going to copy that, I'm going to print it, then I'm going to ink that, and then I'm going to print it again, and then I'm going to take that and then digitally put it on. I think that's what I really want to do, because the freedom of sketching on a piece of paper is better. Like, it's just better. You can make as many lines as you want.
Real mangaka's like, hey, yo, bro, what? No, but everyone has their own style, because like obviously a lot of well, not obviously to me. When I first realized, like, oh, they do it on, like, things. I used to think they would, like, draw it on paper and then they just scan it, which is probably some do for a lot of, but, like, I see, like, videos of mangakas, like Oda. I saw his office. I saw the Rent-a-Girlfriend's mangaka when they did the tour of his place. It was all digital. I'm like, okay, that makes, like, more sense, but it never occurred to me that that's how it happened.
Exactly. I mean, Horikoshi, like, he just doesn't sketch. He just pens it. And I'm like, you madman.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, you're crazy. You know, but he draws the character.
He's too dangerous to be kept alive.
Exactly. But this one, I was just like, I wanted to go. I wanted to do the idea that we were working on Psycho Line, but I've kind of pushed that to the side because I'm not ready for it yet.
Yeah, that is an ambitious. It's a good story, and it is pretty ambitious.
And when I was sketching it, I was like, I'm not ready for this. Like, I was like, this is too big. It's too like I don't even know where to start. So I just started with, my two cats playing at my house. And that's where it kind of went off to, and it kind of went off the rails as I wanted it to do. But now I'm working on I'm working on something called Deadlocked, and I don't want to call it cyberpunk because I don't think it is, but it's basically based on like 80s one shots, not one shots, 80s like album covers, and it's kind of based on that because I look at those album covers and I go, man, those cities look so cool, but wouldn't it be awful to live there? No trees, no grass, no anything. So I'm working on that right now, and I'm in the production phase.
That's an idea.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's just, and of course we'll announce that when it comes out, and Edgar's new chapters, we'll plug that as we continue on.
I'm like, we're both really excited, and go check them out. Just like, even if you read it and you think like, man, that wasn't that good, I don't care. Like, I want to, like, the fact that like someone reads it, I'm satisfied, like, already. Obviously don't trash us, but like,
no,
but regardless, I'm just, we're happy that it's out there.
Speaking of projects, I've been in a show a lot recently called The Daily Life of the Immortal King. I've been in it more than I thought I would.
Yeah, go check those out.
Yeah, go check that out.
You showed me a clip. I'm like, wow, bro, like, you're just in it. Like, that's crazy.
If you watch the show, you'll be, and my voice, you can be like, yeah, that's Ben. Yeah, that's Ben. Yeah, that's Ben. But if you don't listen too hard, you're not gonna listen to it. But it's a really, really good dub of a really, really good anime, so go check that out. I'm also in other projects, but those stuff haven't released yet, so
so more to come.
More to come.
I saw, this isn't really news, but you were talking about, like, how I just thought it was really fun and interested. I'm like, man, what a cool way to, like, to give people, like, opportunities. The Love is War mangaka is going to start a new project, another one soon, because he has two. He has finishing the final chapters of Love is War, and he's doing Aoshir, his new series. I don't know, I forget what it's called exactly, but they're doing a contest to let anyone, if you have manga skills, obviously if you speak Japanese, that'd be, like, useful,
preferable,
but you can send in, like, apparently they were doing a contest to help him out because he's looking for, like,
they called it Auditions.
Yeah,
so
which is like really cool.
It's really good.
I mean, so it's like I just find it really cool that they're allowing, like, anyone to help out, like, which is, like, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it definitely do. I mean, I had that as a news story. So yeah, that, like, the magazine, it's seeking submissions of of prior work of artists to work on the series. With Akasaka writing, submissions are due on August 31st. So that's a really short amount of time, but our artist friends really try out for this. Get this
Shoot
out
your
there.
shot, man.
I'm sure that they would be down with, even if you didn't speak Japanese, I'm sure they'd be, down with if you're
Google Translate.
If you're able to learn,
Yeah.
But that's what, if you want to write comics in Japan, learning Japanese is.
I'm pretty sure the guy who discovered Boichi is like, this guy doesn't speak Japanese, but I gotta nab him. I'll do my best. Like, this guy, he's mine. I need to take him in.
Exactly. But I'm learning Japanese right now because I'm, I want to, when I send my submissions, I want to write it in Japanese. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's really sweet.
Yeah, kicking that off, let's just go straight into the news.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. So, Mushoku Tensei fans, guess what? The OVA Eris the Goblin Slayer is now on Crunchyroll. Both sub and dub. This was an OVA that was released, but it wasn't. I don't think it was on the Funimation website either. But it's an OVA. It is canon. It wasn't written in the light novels, but it was a small side story that one of the characters mentioned in the story itself. So, and the animation looks fantastic. Makes me miss the show. Yeah. Go check it out if you haven't. It's absolutely fantastic.
Is that Mushoku Tensei?
Yeah, that's Mushoku Tensei on my
I'm looking at
desktop screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. But go check it out if it's great. Just a small piece of news. And also, we have Cyberpunk Edge Runners is coming on Netflix September 13th. Really soon. Animation productions done by Studio Trigger. The the visual wallpaper we got looks amazing. I love Trigger's style. It's just very kind of blocky and like sleek and it looks really cool.
And it's very colorful. I don't know
how it'll go. I know Cyberpunk has the bad rep.
I don't know if this is going to be. The comics, Cyberpunk comics are really good.
CD Projekt Red's name on it. Well, they're an amazing studio, but with their work on Cyberpunk was they kind of got we'll see. And it's Netflix too, so Netflix with anime.
Especially since they were peddling the idea of, they were peddling the idea that they're the people's company, and it turns out they're actually just a company. But they still have an opportunity to be the people's company. They just got to try a little bit harder than that.
Yeah.
But I mean, they announced this before even Cyberpunk 2077 came out.
Really?
Yeah. So the hype for this was, was like
equal level.
Was like equal level. It was like, oh my god, we're gonna get an anime with it. And I just don't think the interest is there anymore. Also,
especially after the game's release.
Yeah, and also with
Netflix.
With Netflix and how much problems I just don't think anybody cares as much.
If it's good, I'm looking for it. I love Cyberpunk ideas. Maybe, maybe for another story, but regardless, it looks fantastic.
It does look great.
Yeah, you got something for me, Ben?
Oh yeah, I got so much.
Let's just riff off.
Hunter x Hunter's Yoshihiro Togashi. He tweets a worrying health update.
Yeah.
There's actually quite a bunch of health updates that I have.
Let's just put them all sadly in one block.
Do you want to say if you're not into manga and you're watching the Manga Monday show, half of our news segments are us telling how mangakas are having health issues, and how
it shouldn't be happening, but apparently it's a current story topic.
Tower of God, Hunter x Hunter. I don't know what else has been having.
Jujutsu Kaisen, not recently, but he had big ones before.
He's been having big ones. We're just looking at your manga.
Let's take a look around.
That one.
I'm pretty sure Tabata had some
at some point.
Tabata
had some. I think the Hell's Paradise one had some. Yeah, so all of them have issues because they're overworked and they don't have. Which is why I want to work with a team and not by myself so that we can relax. But yeah. As we know, in May, Hunter x Hunter manga creator Togashi opened a Twitter account, absolutely blew up. And this week he kind of addressed that he's about his ongoing health issues, which we knew he had. But we knew the severity of them as well. But just a little reminder of all the fans just to be don't take this for granted, When you read these chapters, remember that this guy slaved over it.
Yeah. The fact that he's back is already a miracle.
Miracle. It's literally a miracle. On Friday, he tweeted, "My symptoms are not improving, and my treatment and recovery have been taking up a large amount of my time." On Saturday, he wrote, "I've done one frame, and I can't put strength into my right hand, and I'm in pain." On Sunday, he wrote that work is progressing on a clean copy of the script. Listen, I know, Togashi, I understand you want to draw it, you want it to be yours, but I don't, I don't know.
There's so many people that want to help you out, or that are supporting you.
I don't, your wife is a mangaka, I don't know. I don't know. I understand the art style.
I don't want to lose you.
Exactly.
Don't go.
But I get it. It's your story. You do whatever the heck you want with it. And we're actually lucky that he's in Japan and not Hollywood, because, Hollywood would have already continued the anime and,
We're doing this without you.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what they would have
said. That's what they would have done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we wish him the best, of course, but just don't take it for granted. Also, don't berate his Twitter.
Please don't.
As I've seen some people.
It's just so fun. He's like, I've never seen this before. Murata, the One Punch Man illustrator, puts out he gives up updates as well, what he's doing. He's like, oh, I finished 3 things. I did that, which is really cool. But he Togashi actually shows pictures of drafts and the number pages. I'm like, oh man, we're getting behind the scenes stuff, which I just find really cool.
It's great.
I never seen anyone do that, but please take care, man.
Yeah. Ruri Dragon manga. I hear that Ruri Dragon is a big manga that's been out. The mangaka takes an extended break due to his health.
I think we mentioned this before that he took a break and now another one.
Yeah, another one. Yeah. So this year's 35th issue of Shueisha's Weekly Shonen Jump magazine revealed on Monday that Masueki Shindo's Ruri Dragon manga is taking another hiatus for a while due to the creator's health. The manga took a break from this issue on the 33rd, and he put out a new chapter on the 34th, and now he's taking another break.
34th?
Yeah, he.
Oh, you mean the chapter?
On the issue.
Oh yeah, I was like, what? That's not a day.
The Shueisha's. There can't be a 33rd day.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Manga Plus describes the story as the story of a young dragon girl being lazy, doing her best, and being lazy again, and the new series begins. Yeah, pretty much. No, that's not you.
No, I know.
But I think I have seen some clips from this anime, and it looks great. And of course, another mangaka with underlying health issues. We wish them the best.
Yeah. We also got. Sorry, I don't know why I stumbled through that.
Yeah.
Eden Zero has announced the 2nd season for the TV anime, which will broadcast in
nice.
2023 with teaser visuals. I don't know if we have a PV image. We have a poster image of the new season. I don't think any teaser trailers have come out yet, but regardless, there's still more information to come. It's coming up next year for those who are wondering. And this is the same person who did what do you call it? Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
So for those Fairy Tail fans, if you haven't heard of this, Eden Zero, it's by the same mangaka. It's his also other project. I don't know if he's still doing Fairy Tail 100-year quest.
It is still going on.
Okay, so 2 projects. Wow. So he has 2 projects in his belt. Both, I think 100-year quest was announced for an anime a long time ago, but they haven't come up with any new news yet. But either way, 2nd season's coming soon.
Back on, just to real quick talk about Fairy Tail, just a funny story. One of my close mentors and close friends, Gregory Lush, he plays a main character in Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
And he talked to me about how much he loved playing that character and stuff. And he's not big on anime, he doesn't watch it and stuff like that. So I was like, oh wait, Fairy Tail? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, you do know that there's a 2nd series that came out. And he was like, what? And I was like, they're releasing an anime. And he was like, seriously? I was like, yeah.
He's like, oh no.
He's like, not again. No, but he said he really enjoyed playing that character. So
you mentioned this, but you got to remind me who he is, or if you remember what he looks like, I'll pull it up. But
well, he played in my play, he played Bottom.
No, I know who he is. I wonder what character he played.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's got a big nose or something.
We'll scroll through it.
I don't know anything about Fairy Tail, but
that's okay.
But yeah, I just thought it was a lot of fun just to see his eyes glow up and be like, somebody who thought it was over. He was like, oh, maybe it'll be back.
Like the actor for Eraser, My Hero, he's like, all right, My Hero's done, and oh yeah, there's a spin-off series, Vigilantes. You're kind of in it. Yeah. He's like, what? He has no idea.
Well, we'll see if that gets animated. We'll see.
Yeah,
we can hope, but yeah.
Skate Infinity also has a 2nd season, and a new OVA announced.
That's great.
Yeah, so expect more news to that. We also got a trailer with it. It's pretty cool. I haven't seen it. Looks great. Tony Hawk hopefully should have a cameo in it. I would expect.
I've heard. Yeah.
No, but that'd just be something funny. That's like if Food Wars have Gordon Ramsay as a cameo.
Yeah.
Gordon
Senpai.
My Hero Academia Season 6 will not be a recap episode. It will directly be starting for the main story. Great news. Be excited.
Let's go.
Yeah, we just shoot away the apes that just broke into the studio.
Go.
Either way, they're hyped like we are that no fillers coming.
Let's go. Oh, that's so great. I'm so happy.
Yeah, so good. Such good things. Also, I don't have the thing in front of me, but it was heavily discussed on that the Bones director or one of the directors for Bones clarified that Bones has separate studios focusing on different projects. So people, when they ask, oh, why can't you like focus on this? Why can't you like stop picking up projects or like focus up one after the other instead of doing all at the same time? And like, hey, that's not how exactly it works. Just so you know. And he listed bam, bam, bam. Studio A does this and that. I don't remember what it was. One studio does Mob Psycho specifically. Studio C, if I remember correctly, focuses on My Hero Academia exclusively. But as we know and speculated to the obvious reasons why season 5 and 4 weren't as strong as before, it's because if you remember correctly, movies came out during those times. So that's the logical reason why budget
and those studios are working on all of it.
So, so that's probably why the intention wasn't there. So if you're wondering like, oh, don't focus on Mob Psycho, this and that. No, they got their own thing worrying about. Yeah, but no movie has been announced. So. And no other project. Well, the OVAs did happen,
but I watched them. They were fun.
Yeah, they released the dubs on those.
They released dubs on them. Yeah, which is just Crunchyroll is just on it, bro. Like they're like, oh, OVAs, we're out. Like it never used to be like that. Like the OVAs were only like the original OVAs were only in sub. Like I remember there was a zombie one, but this one was actually a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun with like Fat Gum and stuff like that, And then the Endeavor training.
That
was
Mr.
nice,
Smile, it was so weird seeing Todoroki and Bakugo laugh along with Deku and Endeavor.
Oh that Mr. Smile.
Yeah, that was really funny.
It's good.
But either way, if you're like, oh man, you should fuck that, he clarified because I feel like they're getting tired. Every studio gets tired, especially Mappa will end up getting the criticism.
Well, they can deal with it. So
no, I know, but like
Mappa can deal with
they
it.
get tired, like of people like getting on them about Attack on Titan.
You know those memes that's like, thank you for all the not you great animation. That's Mappa in the middle, not you.
Oh my god, did you see? I might just cut this out, but did you see that on Twitter? There's a poll. It was like, really? Are you serious? Like, it was a poll saying, who do you think had it worse? 1,800 slaves or Mappa animators.
Oh my god!
Could you guess which one won?
Mappa animators.
Yeah, everyone's like, no,
dude,
man,
no,
all ancestors. Are you kidding me? Like,
exactly.
Oh my god, oh that's so awful. But everyone was like memeing it. Like, are you this you anime fans? Like, is this you? Like,
is this you?
But
oh boy,
we know how horribly treated Mappa animators are, but not that much. Like, clearly,
no.
Anime fans being typical anime
maybe
fans.
cut this out. It's gonna make us we're laughing at 20,000.
No,
slaves.
just the ridiculous spectacle of the posts. I don't agree with it. It's just so stupid to see something.
Oh,
like
of course
that.
not. We don't agree with these.
It's all satire. This is satire.
This is satire. We don't.
No.
Obviously not.
Not Mob Psycho. Sorry, Psycho-Pass Providence, a new anime film for the Psycho-Pass series has been announced. There have been other series, other films that were put out after the first Psycho-Pass season, as well as the second season. So that's pretty much all we have, But you got a new poster for it. Go check it out if you're a Psycho-Pass fan. I love the first Psycho-Pass season. I might check out the second. I hear it's not good though. So maybe not. Either way, hyped for that.
Great.
I think that might be it, other than the big obvious one that I want to talk about. Actually, no, I have something small. Something small. Refresh again. Sorry. Chainsaw Man Part 2, Chapter 103 will be published on August 31st. Once again, a 2-week break on the Shonen Jump app. And for those of you who had read the recent Chainsaw Man chapter, we got like 47 pages, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
That's double the amount than what you would get for a 1921 pages. So if this is at the rate we're going with the content we're getting, keep it up. If 2 weeks is what requires to get more than an average weekly release, I'm all for it. I like it a lot.
Well, but also, I don't know. maybe he's already written this. Like
I'm sure he did it beforehand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like the way that who writes it? Fujimoto. I like the way Fujimoto does this. Like, he takes a year break and really, probably has it all sketched out.
Like I said, Shonen Jump Plus is giving him, like, a better good time.
I want to work for Shonen Jump Plus
rather than Shonen Jump Weekly. Because they're we mean weekly, we mean it. Like,
exactly.
Shonen Jump Plus. You're good, man.
Yeah,
you take your time.
man. Yeah,
You're like
whatever.
the biggest popular hot mangaka on the market right now, so we want you to be in good health.
Well, that and Spy Family. But
yeah. But I think some would argue Chainsaw Man's obviously more popular.
I don't think. Yeah, I think that's not even an argument.
Yeah,
it's bigger. But I think in terms of
but Spy Family is there.
I think in terms of families.
Yeah.
It's
Spy Family is up there. Yeah. That's all I have other than the big obvious one, which I assume you'll leave for the end. Hopefully, if you're reading my mind, like,
leave it for the end.
yeah. If you have anything else,
yes, I got a whole bunch. Okay. Good. Because I have another big one.
Okay.
I like silly news. I like Edgar hitting the bigger ones.
Let's get fun.
And me getting into the little cracks and stuff like that. So Mob Psycho season 3, all the episodes are completely ready to air. And one of the episodes has 20,000 hand-drawn animated frames.
Ooh, baby, sounds godly.
Which is new. That's I think the last one was 12. Like, the highest that they've normally done is 12,000 animated frames from season 4 of My Hero Academia. So this is a new record
milestone.
New milestone for Studio Bones.
So once again, if you're worried about Studio Bones, they got it wrapped this season pretty well.
Of course, and they've been working on this for years.
Yeah, so far from the news we've been getting, it's been W after W with My Hero and Mob Psycho.
Dub.
Keep on going. That's so great to hear.
Okay, so this one. Remember 2 weeks, Edgar, when we talked about Manga Up, which was the new Square Enix manga? They've had a little bit of a controversy recently.
I was actually looking forward to that.
Yeah. So Manga Up is censoring things, censoring everything from cleavage to knees.
What?
Knees.
What tornation? What, we live in a cowboy era?
Here's the cleavage being censored by a black
come
bar.
on. What?
So
this ain't hentai. What is this?
Yeah. So less than a week ago, Square Enix launched their own manga distribution website app called Manga Up, with classics such as Full Metal Alchemist, popular hits like Goblin Slayer, and Daemons of the Shadow Realm.
My Dress Up Darling was also there.
Yeah, My Dress Up Darling, which is probably censored.
Yeah,
a lot. Things looked promising until readers started to notice a censorship in the form of giant black bars.
What is this, China, where they censored the Titans and put clothes on them?
Put underwear on them?
Yeah,
that's hilarious. So I'm pulling up a tweet here.
I mean,
from someone. That's the original, and that's the Manga Up Plus.
Why release it then? What is this? Disney? It's not Disney or anything.
See, look, it's not even that one isn't even anything.
She's wearing pants. There's nothing there.
Exactly. And she's and this one, look at this. It's a knee. It's a knee.
That looks like a boy. What is
It is. Well, I think it is a girl, but it's
either
a knee. I think
they're wearing shorts and then there's just a block. You can still see the skin for. What is? I don't understand. What is that? Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm confused.
With cleavage, I wouldn't understand, and fan service moments, especially My Dress Up Darling. I get it, but that's ridiculous. That's so dumb. What the heck?
Yeah. So from that one mod guy on Twitter at Panja_Mani said the censorship in Square Enix Manga Up app is so absurd and hilarious. ICYMI Manga Up is recently launched. English manga reading service launched by Square Enix 2 days ago. Also rip knee. So yeah.
Wow.
And to be clear, the black bars aren't just covering nudity. They're covering things like, knees, bikinis, panty shots, cleavage, to crotch regions of jeans, It's a bit much that's putting it,
you shouldn't, I mean, if you look forward to those, I'm not going to judge, and I really don't look forward to that kind of stuff. But the fact that when you offer a website and a reading manga app for free, you would assume that you would just deliver the original content as is. If you feel like something is like, not meant for like your app or like website, then don't put it on there.
Yeah, don't use it.
Leave it for someone else.
So,
that's just dumb.
So they released like an announcement or like I
have to say.
So they said regarding the censorship on Manga Up Plus, in consideration of each mobile platform's policies, some modifications were unavoidable to release the app to the whole world outside of Japan. This is not limited to English-speaking countries. We are still in the early exploratory stages and will strive to improve while listening to your feedback. In the meanwhile, some of the content is available uncensored through official streams, so please continue supporting the artist. Thanks for your patience, Manga Up Global team.
So they did this. So their reason is that so they can release it everywhere without getting backlash from countries that wouldn't allow it.
China.
Yeah, I would assume.
It's basically they're pandering to the Chinese market.
Just don't give it to them. They don't deserve that kind of stuff. I mean, if they're just gonna censor
the people,
do.
The citizens do.
But like, if the government isn't, why? Why bother?
Mm-hmm.
Like, who cares? But oh man, that's so dumb. That's so funny at the same time too.
Yeah. So they're quick to assure the feedback has not been good. Obviously, from their announcement and from everything else, it's kind of just why would you kind of shoot yourself in the foot like as soon as you got started?
Yeah.
I think when I read that, I thought that was the funniest thing I've read, in a while.
Do they hate us?
Exactly.
Like they're wondering.
Exactly. Edgar in Japan, One Piece Film Red has been going off. It stays at #1 for the second week. I could throw a whole bunch of numbers at you. Basically, what you need to know is it's in contention on being one of the highest anime films of all time, and it completely outsold its direct competitor, which was Dragon Ball Super Superhero.
And it's also the most successful One Piece film, right?
In terms of numbers, in terms of reviews, no, people do not like this movie.
What?
Which, I mean, makes sense.
I've been hearing a lot of hype for it.
I've been hearing a lot of hype from it as well. However, but in Japan, the reviews are about a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay, well,
out of 5, it's not
that
bad. That's not that bad.
That's not. That's like a 4.
Yeah. And if you like this, if you've seen it and you like the film, this is just what I've heard. I've heard that it hasn't been doing too great.
There's something in it that I got spoiled on heavily.
Yeah.
I knew it was a spoiler because I got spoiled on something that happens in the manga. Yeah. So I figured with something like that, and I won't explain or tell you because Ben hasn't seen it.
Well, I got spoiled on that Shanks is barely in it. And that really, when I saw, because me and Asal, we watched the One Piece Day when they announced this, and the whole audience went wild when we saw it because it showed a picture of Shanks and it said One Piece Film Red, and it did his signature scar.
Everyone figured that it would be him.
Yeah, and everybody freaked out. And we were like, "Oh my god, it's a Shanks solo film! Let's go!"
Yeah.
Definitely.
But then we realized, and we started realizing hey, this is a new character. And I'm like, okay, it's Shanks' daughter, kind of. Oh man. And then it shows her at the pivotal center, like at the posters. Even though Shanks is still at the center, which is if he's not in it as much as they're saying. Why would you put him in a big, a big part of the poster?
I also saw a clip, and I don't like the animation. And it makes sense because they've been going so hard on the anime, the weekly anime, that it makes sense that it maybe the movie had to take a step back.
Yeah. But what I saw, the clip I saw from the spoiler I saw,
go ahead.
The crowd was like Avengers Endgame times 1,000. So I thought that it would have been a success.
A success, yeah.
Maybe it's just that one moment, but I saw it and I was like, because I wasn't believing what I was saying. I didn't think they would put that in there, but I was like, this is crazy. So I'm really surprised to be hearing that.
I don't know.
Maybe didn't do that well.
Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just. Maybe
or maybe
maybe I had a bad source, and maybe
me too. Maybe I just saw. Maybe that one crowd was just like the highlight of it. But we'll see when it gets here. Should it be coming out next month?
Probably in 2 months. I would give it. Just because of COVID and all that stuff.
It came out in August, right? Or did it come out late July?
It came out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so we're probably getting 3 months at most, probably
2-3. I would give it.
Sucks. Because Dragon Ball Super came out in late May or early June, right?
Yeah, late May, early June. But also Crunchyroll has been very quick with things recently, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure because Dragon Ball Super Superhero was basically when the Funimation Crunchyroll thing was happening.
Yeah.
So maybe that slowed it down as well, but I don't know. I just have to say that I am.
Can I read all of One Piece to watch the movie by then?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll find out. No, I won't be able to.
But it is kind of kind of disappointing for me because if Shanks had more screen time, he would be my favorite character in One Piece.
I'm hearing a lot of good things in the manga currently about Shanks, so that's good news.
I
at
can't
least.
say anything about that.
I won't say anything, but I just hear if you're a Shanks fan, you'll be happy.
Oh, we eaten, bro. We eaten.
Yeah.
Ranking of Kings.
I saw. Yeah.
Yeah, very similar to how Dr. Stone got an OVA special. Ranking of King is going to get an anime special in 2023.
Yeah.
This is big, especially for me. Ranking of Kings has been something I watched recently. I'm in love with it. It's definitely one of the best things I've ever watched.
So it's an OVA essentially, right?
It's basically an OVA. It's going to be like a 50-minute OVA. But this is different from any other manga to anime adaptation because there is no English translation of this manga, and there's not even.
So most people don't like read the original
I checked
content
everywhere. There's not even a fan English translation.
Yeah.
There's a Russian and German translation, and so I was.
Ben, you're German. You should like.
I was able to read a little bit of it, but I couldn't get all of it.
Dad, can you read this for me?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, exactly. No, but it's like this is hype. Seeing new stuff like this is great, and of course, we're both big fans of ProZD, who plays
the shadow
the shadow
thing.
kind of monster guy.
You should know its name.
I should know its name. I know. Oh my God, what is? Oh, whoops. I mean, Boji is the main character. Boji, but they never really, because Boji doesn't speak, so he never says his name.
I'm about to find this out quicker.
Boji and it starts with a
Kage.
Kage. There you go. I knew it started with a K.
Wow, I type in Ranking of Kings, just that, and Pod Z is immediately in the original.
Of course, because he's so famous.
Yeah,
he's so famous. But yeah, so yeah, this episode will tell a story that has not been seen in the original anime, and will feature the returning cast, of course. So yeah, hopefully it continues the manga and
Wit Studio, of course, obviously, I'd assume.
Oh, this is Wit. Of course. Yeah. Same studio and stuff like that. Yeah.
Maybe they'll do the same, hey, second season coming soon when that special comes out.
This makes me think that we're going to get the OVA in 2023 and then the anime is going to come out in 2024. But, at least it's giving us something, you know. I don't think we talked about this. Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. It's coming back.
Yeah, we talked about it last week.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, the promo. Did you see the promo video? Yeah, it was nice.
Yeah,
it was really nice. She said senpai a lot, so that was fun.
It's to be expected, of course.
Yeah. So story time mixed in with this next news. I was recently in an anime called, I dubbed over an anime called Laid Back Camp. The episode hasn't come out yet. I think it's coming out in either next week or in a couple of weeks. And basically, I was just a counselor who basically just talked about what camping was.
Okay, guys, so camping.
I was like, okay, so don't burn yourself or kill yourself or turn things on fire. Thank you.
If there's a bear, stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah,
wait,
exactly.
That's for fire.
That's for fire. Yeah, don't stop, drop, and roll when there's a bear there. The bear will eat you.
Yeah.
So I talked to my friend Alec, and I was like, yeah, I'm in this laid back camp, and he was like, no way. I was like, what? And he was like, no way, is that the harem one? And I was like, what?
I think it is, yeah.
I was like, no. I was like, it's not. And laid back camp is like really wholesome. And I was like, I didn't get those vibes at all. And that's why I figured out today that there is a manga called Harem Camp. That is getting an anime in October. Edgar.
Yeah.
So I looked at that and I was like, oh, that's why. So yeah, it's going to be, of course it's not going to be hentai. It's going to ride that line. Otherwise it wouldn't be an anime. It would be a hentai.
Have you seen a harem anime? All of them do that.
Of
they
course.
always ride the line.
Of course.
High School DxD, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, exactly. It's just going to be great. So the anime is going to premiere on Tokyo MX in October 2nd.
Who knows? You might dub that one too.
Oh, that would be great. I'd be down for it.
Your first big role is a harem anime.
It's a harem.
I'm all for it. I'll watch it.
Play just this. God, this guy has hentai protagonist vibes, doesn't he?
It'd be even more if they didn't show his eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Like his hair's covering his eyes.
That guy looks like a bland. Well, they all look like bland versions of each other, but he just looks like the guy from Uzaki-chan wants to hang out. Have you seen that anime? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I have.
He's just like a tall guy with longish hair, kind of short hair, actually.
Yeah, it's gonna premiere with other hot new manga, kind of like this style called like Simple Yet Sexy, The Girls' Last Tour, and Caressing the Nipples of My Hibernating Bear.
Is that the synopsis?
Stuff. No, this is what it's releasing with. This is going out on the Anime Fiesta or something like that. Anime Festa, which is like an anime, just a big release of anime in Tokyo. So yeah, the story follows a teacher and a veteran solo camper who forms a camping group with 4 girls. So check that out. I do have one other news, and it's been everywhere, but I think I kind of forgot to talk about it. And let me just start off with this. I don't have an official thing about it. Edgar, you want to know why I know it's 2022?
What?
I never thought I'd see the day when Vegeta absolutely murks Darth Vader with a Gallic gun and then proceeds to hit the gritty on him. I never thought the day I would see this. And
I never thought I would see Beerus wreck Vegeta and then kills Goku, and then Beerus like dances on him with the Travis Scott music,
like just doing the bum 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 bum, So Dragon Ball comes to Fortnite. I mean, what hasn't come to Fortnite?
It's only a matter of time before Jesus is in Fortnite or something like that.
It's only a matter of time before One Piece also gets in there.
Thanos is on it. Naruto is on it. Keanu Reeves is on it. Yeah, Star Wars.
Reeves is on it.
Yeah, seeing Goku holding an Among Us backpack and then a lightsaber is just so bizarre to see.
And just seeing him like running around like shooting a gun, I'm just like, man, I don't like this. Like it's scary.
Look at Beerus. Look, this is the clip I'm talking about. It's Beerus comes by like he's like dancing.
It's just so funny. Like
the Kamehameha attack looks really cool. Like
it does. A
lot of people are liking it. At first, like people were like laughing at the memes, and then people were like, "Oh, I don't know about this." And then a lot of people are like really into it 'cause it's just absurd and it's really fun.
Yeah,
it looks. I might just get back into it.
I'm also a little bit baffled with the decision to bring Bulma
on
and not somebody like
who can fight
Frieza or Piccolo.
Yeah,
but they bring just a normal person like Bulma. Watch this video.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oops. It's
there's so many clips. You can look it up.
It's a video of somebody twerking in front of Vegeta and Bulma like
walks in. What's happening?
Yeah, exactly. Like what's going on? I was like, what is? And in fact, Vegeta.
This is canon.
Exactly. I'm just like, wow, this is. What?
With the new Dragon Ball superhero movie, it looks like that, like the same style animation, and like with the Fortnite and 3D and all that. It's just like so bizarre. So many good things.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
No
words.
No words.
One Punch Man has officially confirmed a season 3 in production. Ben.
What punch?
Don't want to get copyrighted.
Copyright. Woo! One punch.
Don't get copy. One Punch Man is officially getting a 3rd season TV anime with a visual PV that was posted. No teaser trailer or trailer of any sorts has been released yet, and neither has an official studio been announced along with staff and whatnot. But nonetheless, a lot of people thought after the 2nd season of One Punch Man that One Punch Man was probably one of those mangas that shouldn't be or won't be adapted again, especially after the letdown by a lot of anime fans of the 2nd season who felt like the quality, there was definitely a dip in quality in terms of animation between the 1st and 2nd season. Madhouse doing the 1st season and JC Staff doing the 2nd. There's a clear difference. A lot of people just were okay with not getting a 3rd season. But if you can look closer at the PV image, it looks different. And there are heavy rumors that the 3rd season is picked up by a different studio. So that's what's got everyone excited.
What studio?
Who's it gonna be?
Ooh,
a lot
baby.
of rumors were going around that Bones. I told Ben here that it looks like Bones. I don't know. It just looks like kind of bold but like
Yes.
Saitama's face looks different.
And everywhere on Twitter there are people who are saying that it's confirmed. It's not confirmed yet. So hold your horses, friends. Until Bones comes out and says we are doing One Punch season 3, we don't know. Right?
Yeah.
As of right now, we don't know. But Edgar, you've read the manga. Like and Edgar comes back every week and he's like, "Oh my god, the One Punch manga!" Because
like
anytime anytime we go to a bookstore, he's like, "Watch this! I'm gonna open one page and it's gonna look beautiful." Bam, and it is,
like,
and it does look great. So Edgar, is this a hype area of the story?
Oh
Is
yeah.
it-
Like from here, it's like nonstop. I think it's
Right.
like this is. I don't know what the exact arcs are, but I would call this entire thing like a saga because after this, once it gets to a certain point, it's fight after fight after fight after fight after fight after fight after fight.
Yeah.
And just now in the manga, it all came to a conclusion after what I felt like I think has been like a year and a half or two for this entire like mini saga, or however you want to call it. I'm not too familiar with the arcs in One Punch Man. They all kind of just blend together, but you can tell that this fight. That these like 3 acts of sagas, like these fights of what are to come, are gonna be, if animated well, are ginormous, like internet breaking like level if handled properly.
Oh yeah.
Even if they're on the same level as what Madhouse did, because what Madhouse did, they adapted it, as best they could perfectly, because the One Punch Man manga is like on a level to where you can't properly 100% like adapt it like the quality as it is, because that's just the way it works with some of these illustrators, because one does the story who also known for doing Mob Psycho, and sometimes I just forget I'm reading the manga. I'm like, I forget one does the stories for these because they're just so good.
Yeah.
You have only read no, have you watched?
I've only watched the first season. I'm gonna pick up the manga eventually, but I'm just reading so much right now.
Yeah.
But eventually I will get there. But we don't know when this is coming out. We don't know, anything about it other than we just had to say One Punch is back.
Yeah.
One of, in my opinion, the most. I would say One Punch was the beginning of the anime.
It was up there along with Attack on Titan in terms of like,
and My Hero Academia as well. Yeah.
In terms of like, like it's so big, even like normies or like regular people who aren't into anime notice it.
Exactly.
I think like Bill, who is that comedian? The Boston comedian. Bill.
Oh, Bill Hader?
No, the other one. The one with the bald head.
Oh, the guy from The Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. He's one of my favorite comedians.
Bill Burr, I
Bill
think.
Burr, yeah.
Yeah, his favorite anime is One Punch Man.
Yeah.
It's just one of those animes and series.
He's bald.
Okay, yeah, right. A symbol to bald people everywhere.
Bald people everywhere.
Walter White and all.
Yeah, exactly.
But Garo is gonna be like a prominent. He was already a prominent character in season 2 when he was introduced, but he is like they delve deeper into his character, and like he really is the GOAT. Like I bought like a Funko Pop of him because I knew like he was just that
he
great.
looks interesting. I don't know much about him, but he looks like he looks fascinating.
Yeah, Ben hasn't reached the 2nd season. That's when he's introduced. He's just a phenomenal and character that has a lot of hilarious moments too, but a very interesting morale. Could you imagine if Bone picks it up? That means like after finishing what seems like it's going to be an amazing season of Mob Psycho, they'll be adapting another work by one.
Just wow. Like then they're going to, if they do get a hold of this, they're going to murder it.
I think it would be safe to say that Bones, the department that's handling Mob Psycho, would be done with season 3 by this point.
Yes.
So maybe they've already been working on One Punch Man.
Maybe.
And it would be kind of romantical if they were the same people were to handle another work by one.
They also should,
Yeah.
And I think One Punch is far enough away now. They could probably knock 2 seasons out, with this, So yeah, I think they know one storytelling so well that they can get those results done.
If you like
also, sorry,
Yeah.
they also do another series about superheroes. So
What's
you
it
know,
called? I forget.
I forget. I don't know.
It's My Hero Academia.
Yeah, it's My Hero. So,
But this is, if you're interested, stay tuned because obviously we're getting the 3rd season now, which is so hype. But if you're interested, and if you're kind of like left like in open air, like I really wish I could get back into this series. There's some manga. It's never the same, really, in a sense. For starters, for a lot of people who are animes only, but there are a few that were like the manga. When we say the manga's better, it literally means like in this scenario, 100% is a guarantee that it's better in the sense that the art. Oh my god, it's just so good.
Yeah, dude.
It's on another level.
If you don't want to watch season 2, just read the manga. Like it looks great.
Oh my god,
Looks
so
really
great.
good. All right, so the final news, which I'm sure Edgar is wearing, is Karasuno High School, repping his alma mater.
I am literally wearing the news.
Yeah, he is wearing the news. Haikyuu, if you haven't heard this, where have you been? Under a rock? Haikyuu anime gets 2 final films, so it's going to be a 2-parter film.
It's called Haikyuu Final officially.
Yeah, Haikyuu Final.
It'll be 2 parts, like Infinity War and Endgame of sorts.
Yeah, kind of like that.
And at first, when I read this, I was like, "Wow, it's ending!" Of course, because I knew the anime was ending, and there was like,
me too.
I said a few chapters, but not that much. So I figured it'll be like a season or 2 seasons. Either way, I knew the end was coming. And when I saw this, I was like, "Cool!" I sent it to Ben, and it's like, "Ben, check this out! It's ending 2 films. Isn't that great?" And you're like, "I don't know how to feel about this," and I'm like, "Why?" And then he tells me, "Well, there's 110 chapters," and I'm like, "That's okay, right?" And it's like
No.
each season was one season, average season, 24 episodes, is 71 chapters to adapt.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah, most of them.
You can do the math, and you'll see how it won't check out.
Exactly. Most of them had like around 71 chapters, but there are so many. There's so many games and events to be had here, and there's no way that they can adapt all of it. So some things are going to get the cut, and I am worried to see what that is. Now, whether or not maybe this is the end of Haikyuu, and maybe they're going to do another series, I'm not sure, but I'm worried about this one, Edgar. I'm worried.
Yeah, people were expecting, a season. People were confused. They thought like, oh, a season and then 2 films. But no, it seems like it's just gonna be just a movie, 2 movies.
And also, it's worrying because I wasn't a big fan of season 4, and I don't want that to be the final season.
That might be the last opening. I didn't like the second opening
my
for
God,
a short
that might
season.
be the last opening we ever get for Haikyuu. No, dude.
We might not get a what's the band that sings
Burnout Syndrome.
Burnout Syndrome. They might not make an opening
no,
officially.
Dude. It's every Haikyuu opening is good. Every Haikyuu opening is great except for that last one. And I tried, guys. I've tried to bump it in my car. It doesn't work.
It's not a vibe.
It's not a vibe. Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
I was
man.
like, and it's really starting to bring up the subject of the effect that Demon Slayer Mugen Train had. Is that
Yeah.
should every anime have a canon like original content? A canon to film
Yeah.
movie. Should that be necessary? A lot of people were speculating whether Attack on Titan would get one. And luckily it doesn't now because we're seeing, starting to see the cost of what that means for it. It means rushed projects, taking away budget from the actual seasons, and we got, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 was, great.
Mhm.
And, along with obviously Mugen Train. But if this is what it's going to be, if this is the future of like, what that means, we don't want that.
I don't want it.
Yeah. I don't want it.
I don't want it.
Because don't cut out, stuff. Because people are saying, but they can cut out this. You're like, even if you feel
Don't
like
cut out stuff.
Yeah.
Stop. It's all good. The Haikyuu manga, a lot of people haven't read it. The Haikyuu manga is a brilliant, brilliant piece of art with the paneling, with how just the human anatomy is used in that manga. It's brilliant, and the story is brilliant. The way it makes you care about so many characters and so many teams and so many schools. It's baffling to me that not a lot of people have read it, but stop cutting out stuff.
And this is worrying for that. On that point, that's very worrying because if this comes out and if it it could be great, you know.
Could.
But let's say it does cut out a lot of stuff, which it most likely will. It will be a disaster.
Yeah.
In that sense. And people will drop it. People will rank it lower. People will, let's say, read the manga. But at the same time, well, let's look at other failures like Promised Neverland, where the manga is significantly better, and they didn't cut out a lot of stuff because obviously it's the manga. But I feel like no one really flocked to the manga after the letdown that season 2 of the Promised Neverland had. So I don't want that to happen exactly for Haikyuu, because like I feel like Haikyuu as a manga is like is untouched to a lot of. I feel like the anime is significantly bigger than the manga.
It is bigger,
and I feel like if this ends up being let down, people will be like, yeah, I can read it, but I feel like the same thing will happen like with the Promised Neverland, where people are like, yeah, I know the manga's better, but like I felt like no one really went to that afterwards. Same thing with Soul Eater. I love, even though people keep saying Soul Eater, like the manga continues and it's so much better than like the filler and the stuff they cut out. People just don't, there's a good chunk of people that just don't go to it.
They just don't have, like, they just don't want to read it, and that's fine. Like manga will never be as big as anime.
Yeah.
It never will be. Now we are seeing
more fans of manga are growing, you know?
Like we're seeing stuff like Spy Family and Chainsaw Man that have a huge following before it even comes out.
Yeah.
But there are majority of the people, let's be honest, majority of the people have only read the first volume of both of those things. Yeah. And then they wait for the anime to come out, and that's where they get it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like it's spoilers. I'm not going to talk about them because Edgar hasn't read this part, but there is a significant time jump in here, and I would have been okay with a movie about what happens after the time jump, but from here on, it's worrying. It's also worrying from Haikyuu's track record of movies, right? I've seen all the Haikyuu movies. The best
movies?
one. What?
You mean those OVAs, right? Or are they classified as movies?
They're classified as movies.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
So there are the movies, and then there are the OVAs that there are the OVAs that I count as movies because they're just as long.
Oh, okay.
Right. One of the biggest OVAs is the
Kenma.
Is the Kenma,
Well, I don't know what their school is called, but Kenma's the character, the setter.
Kurosano and
Nekama.
Yeah. Cat in Japanese.
Yeah.
They had how they got to state, or how they got to the finals, and
really
that was the best one. But the other movies, they are recap movies, so they do the whole season and they do it really fast. And they aren't good. They aren't good. Yeah. They cut out a lot of stuff. They jump plot points. They jump things I even think they jumped huge things, like when Asahi broke through the wall in the first season. That's a big character moment for him, and they just kind of glossed over it, So I think what I fear is that Production IG, the higher ups at Production IG have gone, look at the money Mugen Train wrecked in.
Money!
Yeah, look at that. And we have done these recap movies before. So why don't we just take all of it and just go, and I bet you
He's like, we're going to recap it. He's like, don't you need to do it first as a whole to recap it?
Yeah.
No. I'm not going to recap it.
Because they want the money first. They want the money from that box office first. But also, I think that the anime production were like, we can't do a movie with all of this. It's impossible. And they were like, okay, 2 movies. And then they were like,
still
okay,
not
fine.
enough.
They were like, it's still not enough, but fine.
Yeah.
Now, if these 2 movies take place before the time jump and then they do something after with the time jump, I'm okay with that. However, the tagline for the movie is, who will we become tomorrow? So... time jump. And also, and they
so you think first movie everything following immediately, and then second one time jump.
Second one's gonna be after the time jump.
And it literally says Haikyuu final, unless they pull an Attack on Titan on us final part 3 out of nowhere.
They might.
That would be funny. I would be okay with that, but it looks
this
like
might be the final movie, and they do
final season. We got you, losers.
What I don't want them to do is to do these 2 movies that are crunched and then do because it's like what Mugen Train did, right? Because Mugen Train did the movie and then they did the season, but they added, new stuff into it, and that was actually interesting because,
you got to see how Rengoku got on the train and all that.
because we got to see, it was just the movie, but we saw extra stuff with it.
Yeah.
What I'm afraid with this is they're going to take all of it, squish it together, and then the stuff that we don't see, they're going to release a 5th season, and then just add that stuff back in, just so that they can rake in that, that little money from, the movies.
They got their money already. What are they going to do?
Exactly. And then just do the season 5 and then, call it a day.
Yeah.
That's what I'm afraid they're going to do. That's what I think they're going to do.
But it would be worse if they would just wrap it up in these 2 movies whole.
Yeah, it would be worse. But also, like, this for me just sounds like a cash grab. Like, it sounds like there are so many. And a lot of people are like, why don't you just cut this out? But the promo that they showed those matches, showed the panels from those matches. So unless they do something crazy with it, I'm severely worried about this, Edgar.
Yeah. I don't see any good stuff coming out of this.
No, definitely.
I'm not that big of a fan of Haikyuu. I just really like the anime.
I'm a big fan. It's the first anime I showed my dad.
Same thing with Promised Neverland. I love the first season, but even though after I keep hearing that the manga is better, I just haven't gotten. It's not like I'm not ever gonna read it. I just the fact that I haven't picked it up then, even though I was interested in seeing what actually happened.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be the same for Haikyuu.
Yeah.
And I don't want that to happen. As well as for everyone who liked the anime of Haikyuu, I want them to read the manga if that's obviously might not be successful, but that just usually doesn't happen because,
I think you should, I think you could be able, I mean, it's only like, what you have left is only like 100 chapters. And it's
Bro, I'm
not
reading
too
One
much.
Piece.
I know.
How the heck am I
Once you're done with One Piece, that'll feel like nothing. Like 100 chapters to me, I'm like, yeah, this is nothing.
I know. But yeah, it's just, it sucks, man.
It does suck.
Why?
Why, God? All right, Edgar.
We have 2
yeah,
chapters that we have 2 mangas of recent chapters that we wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do My Heroes first, since that one is
I think we should
one
do
chapter.
I think we should do Chainsaw first.
Really?
Because we can do My Hero and then just say if you don't want to get spoiled, stop watching.
That's it for you. That's a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
point. Let's do Chainsaw Man since you just read that too.
Yeah.
Recently. Yeah. So a lot of people these past few chapters were like, "Where's Denji? Where's Denji?" Y'all are annoying for one thing, because I knew it was a Marley situation all over again.
I saw a
But,
Jujutsu Kaisen meme with this, but I can't say because you haven't read it.
It was like, "Who are you people?" Like,
Yeah.
but I saw those people posting those posts. You gotta chill, man. Do you not know how the story
These
works?
are the
Sometimes
same people
the
who
main
at the
character-
beginning of season 4 of Attack on Titan were like, "Where Eren? Where
Mikasa? Where's everybody?"
Arwen? Where?"
Like,
Yeah.
Lordy, can y'all give it give it a breather?
Chill out.
But yeah,
Chill out.
it was so. But these past few chapters, even not just the recent one, but these past few have been really good. The character setup that we've been doing with Aka or Akasa or man, I forgot her name. What is it? Asa or something like that. Asa, yeah. It's been great. I really like, this friend that she made, how she's contemplating everything. It's really good.
The demon that she has is
Yeah,
really
how
good
it's
too.
the demon that's just been
war
saying,
devil or
kill her.
something. Yeah.
Like, why don't you just make her?
Just imagine
Why don't you
that.
just make her a weapon?
Yeah. Like, hey, you gonna kill that? Yeah, it's great.
But I like how he's constantly setting up rules. If you form a bigger attachment with the person, you can make them a stronger weapon.
Yeah.
Which is I really don't want to see happen. But it looks like with this recent chapter, she just wants to help her. Screw it. I don't care if I'm clumsy. I just want to do this because
It also shows that she basically is the reason why her mom died.
Which sucks.
Is really sad.
Save the cat.
Yeah.
Wow, there's 2 cat references in this recent chapter. I just realized.
Yep. Yeah.
But guess who's back, baby? Denji is back.
Before we get there, I just want to talk
Yeah.
about that spread, that first spread where it's the 2 stories and it looks like a 2D video game and they're reaching through. It looks really cool.
I thought it was I thought I read it as this first spread, the first half is like a time lapse, not a time lapse, but I guess I read it wrong. Let me.
No. It's they're running and then the next panel is it is a time lapse.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right.
So
You're
this
right.
is 1, and then this is 2.
Yeah,
is what I
yeah.
meant. Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought you were talking about like it as second floor and first floor.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's the same people.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I really like this new character, and I like Asa's like her convictions and like her drives and all that. How as long as her heart was in the right place, like
Why does this bat looks like the same bat?
it's the Bat Devil, because the devil is reincarnated.
Oh, they reincarnate. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. But Denji's back, and in like a super cool way. Oh man, it's so awesome seeing
Really great.
seeing him back. And I love Fujimoto how he takes the time like Murata. It might be extra work, but I love it when he like shows just like a difference. Like it's the same panel technically, but the movement is like different. Like we're either running towards like toward not the camera, but you know what I mean when I say the camera. Moving to the camera, or like a bomb sets off. Like it shows the person, and then boom, it's the same kind of panel person, but like the bomb is like actually like exploding. So I like that's his style, and he really does it a lot just to show the fluid movement of like of his
I can see
characters.
this in the anime, like in the anime too. We're obviously not going to get this to like season 2, but like when Denji first shows up, you can almost like miss him, because he's like so far in the back, and he's just like
I was like, oh, there he is. Like,
yeah, exactly, and he's like running, and I can see him like the anime, like it goes silent, and then you just hear like somebody running, and then it slowly zooms in on him, and he's
I
going
know what you're talking about,
in,
like where the music like builds up, like
yeah, exactly, yeah.
like,
of
like,
course, but so yeah, he's facing the cockroach devil, and God, just visceral. Like,
yeah, disgusting. Where did this thing pop up? I didn't see it before. I thought it was just a bat. I mean, he destroyed the bat devil, but I guess he was also fighting the cockroach devil.
Yeah. Either that, or he might have came out of the bat devil. I don't know.
Yeah, but man, like, oh man, look, this is what I'm talking about. He like follows through to the movements. Boom, sets it up. Denji's over there. He comes up, and then poof, like he just like. It might seem like it's like every manga does it, but he does it in a specific way where he just continues like literally the next movement.
Boom, boom, you know, that thing that you can't do with real life,
Yeah.
It's great.
It's really cool. And then we have like, the cockroach devil. Like, you want to be a superhero, huh? What do you want to save? This one guy, really young guy, promising future of these old geezers in the car.
No.
I go cat.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he attacks them in a spectacular fashion.
One of my favorite panels.
And then
the
young
guy's
guy,
dead, and the old geezers in the car.
They're all on
fire. And the
he's
cat's,
like,
I got the kitty, and he was like, but I think
this is your ideal hero, Ben. He saved the cat.
Yeah, he did save the cat. I mean, but he's like, the more I think about it, the more I was like, oh, he's not a superhero. But now that I'm thinking about it, he is. He just chose to save the cat instead.
Yeah.
Because he was like, there was a third choice. And he might have saved one of them if the cat wasn't there. But he was like, I'm just going to save the cat because he likes cats.
Yeah. It's just like people really, I forget, like his style is just so like in your face and like wacky, dark black humor, like kind of Suicide Squad and like Quentin Tarantino style, like in like kind of visceral and violent, and like it's funny. Like after like seeing the people died, Denji is like, there was a cat dude, and then it like in the next it shows the news, and yet another act of heroism, Chainsaw Man has saved the cat devil, the cat from a cockroach devil, meow, and that's how it ends. Like
that's how it ends. It's funny.
It's so random.
But,
oh man!
But obviously Denji seemingly has more control over his. I was about to say quirk. Over his.
We live in a
power.
society.
Exactly. Because I think we see his chainsaw retracting back into his skull. Because see, it's shorter than it normally is, and he doesn't have the hands right now. Yeah. So I think he can retract it now. Because obviously he's trained with that guy who wanted to kill Makima.
Yeah.
But I just love the picture of him absolutely bleeding, like demon guts all over him, and he's holding a white cat, and the white cat is unscathed. It's really good.
It's a cool chapter, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, baby, it's back." I mean, I loved it all the way through. I just found it kind of annoying
It's been
that
back,
people.
bro.
I know that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I found it annoying. Like, okay, this is where it starts. Like, okay, you can shut up. Like, I'm enjoying this, but at the same time, I get it. Denji's back. Like,
it makes me think that maybe this second part of the story is going to be more about the demons, the devils, and the humans coexisting. Because it seems like there are because somebody said, "Oh, all demons are bad." But we know that's not true because, the chicken devil, he wasn't bad,
Bucky.
He was,
and then, obviously...
Power isn't bad.
Power, and, obviously Chainsaw Man has Pochita inside him.
Pochita, yeah.
I say Pochita. I don't know why I say that.
Pochita?
We'll see until the actual dub or the actual anime says it and the dub says it and see which one.
Yeah.
Maybe one picks the other. Like the dub says one thing and then the sub says the other thing.
I bet you the sub's going to go Pochita. Pochita. And then... I think the dub should say Pochita.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It'd be funny if, I'm wanting to see which. But either way, this chapter is phenomenal.
Visceral.
Again, like we said before, just earlier, 2 weeks, August 31st is when the next one come out. But if it means more pages, extras than we would get weekly, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Keep going. It's great.
Definitely. Great.
Nothing else to add. Right, Ben? Just move on to the next one.
Move on to the next one.
It's just obviously it was Chainsaw Man spoilers earlier because Chainsaw Man doesn't have an anime.
To be honest, if you haven't watched the anime, you wouldn't know anything.
There's nothing to talk about.
There's not really a spoiler. You're not gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
But My Hero fans, stay away.
Yeah, there's an anime, so clearly if you're on anime only, this is where the episode ends.
Just click off. Click off right now because I'm about to
go
spoil
away
it
now.
In 3, 2, 1. Bakugo dead.
Bakugo.
That's
This just in. Bakugo is Bakugan.
Bakugan.
But not the board game what you're confusing with.
Yeah, exactly.
But gone in the sense that he's not here anymore.
If this was Dragon Ball, it would be Bakugo dead? Question mark, exclamation mark. Yeah.
Like the One Piece title cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Luffy is dead. What?
Yeah, so this chapter, the most recent My Hero chapter.
Well, up to recording, because obviously there's one coming out this week.
There's one coming out this week, of course.
Yeah.
But obviously, Sun Eater's attack did nothing. And Shigaraki's like, whatever, get that out of here. Me and Edgar kind of had a text argument about how
we took that
how the power system is how is it going?
Not the power system. I get it. He's the final villain, and my argument was I get it. Deku's supposed to face him off, and Shigaraki's so OP and whatnot.
My argument,
I just like it. I just love that we were gonna get some moments with the big three, and we barely got some. But even after all that, with the big attack and the character development that we got with Sun Eater. It was all for nothing.
My argument is they shouldn't even be here. They should be fighting somewhere else. I don't think I don't think Horikoshi set up enough final villains for everyone to face. But
if this was what was supposed to happen, if there was no other option, and having the big three here, let them shine. Have them do, even if it's a 1% damage in some way, show it that it worked, that everyone is putting an effort to stopping him.
Yeah.
Even if it's 1% to helping out Deku. But it seems it was nothing. Which I didn't like.
Also, I do see the other part that Shigaraki is, Shigaraki. And I do.
But I think that's stupid. I don't like that. Is my argument.
I see what you mean, but I do in my opinion, I think in terms of recent manga, I can't even think of a my favorite anime antagonists all come from the 90s and 80s. But I can't think of a better anime or manga antagonist than Shigaraki. I haven't had just a moment where I'm watching something and going or I'm reading it and I'm like, oh my god.
I've seen an OP villain.
Other than One Piece.
I'm basing this off because I've seen other villains that are as OP or even more OP than this, and I've seen fights to where there's nothing they can do, but every effort counts. Even their biggest attacks where it's so minimal to the villain. Even
the fact that Shigaraki isn't using any quirks right now. He should have gotten hurt, but then he should have just immediately healed or something like that. Like they should have done something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but I've seen in like other like storytelling where that minimal attack, even though the villain doesn't seem affected by it, in the end I've seen it where like that one it all accumulates, or like that one attack did this, or like earlier, like with with
Gigantomachia.
or no or that, but with kind of like what they did with All for One and what's her face, the
Jiro.
No, the chick that died, the OP USA court.
Oh, you mean I almost said U.S. agent.
Star and Stripes?
Marvel, Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, that wasn't on an extreme level, because obviously All for One's like, oh, I'm still alive. You died, and it didn't work. But she did something to help that. But that was again on the most extreme level, because what she did was like, it helped out a lot.
I liked that. I liked that chapter when he was like, "Oh, my quirks are rebelling. Oh, well, guess I'll eat them." That chapter where he was like, "Oh," and you were like, "What the like?" Like All for One is great. I love. He's really scary.
But I get, and I was also upset because I can get the feeling that this is probably all we're gonna get from the big three.
Mm-hmm.
I like to be wrong.
I think Horikoshi forgot them.
But I think this is it. I was really expecting more. I said it before. I was wanting more, but this is all we're getting.
We do have some villains that haven't been introduced yet, right? With the they mentioned it so fast, and I feel like that it just wasn't built up enough. The escapees, like the five generals from Tartarus. I felt like I always forget that they exist, and I think they are the ones who are going after Deku right now.
Yeah. I just feel like with the events that we got with this new chapter that we're talking about, it feels like not that this is it, but like these are like this is like the final acts coming, and I can't see it branching off into more bigger fights. So that's why I'm like, you know what I mean? Where I'm like feeling
I can see
like
it branch off. I still think one of the big three is going to die because they're no longer high school students, even though they haven't graduated. They are at the age where they shouldn't be high school students anymore.
That'd be interesting. If that means we get more moments with them, great. But I'm calling it that this is all we're going to see from them. And they're just gonna be in the background.
Okay.
While Deku and
let's do a slap bet. No, I'm just kidding. No, let's not.
I'm just making my wager as well. I'm making my call.
I'm making my wager that I think at least Lemillion is going to have one more big moment. Because I don't even think Lemillion had a.
I was really wanting Haru to get a moment. I mean, she kind of did, but. And we almost got. I mean, we got something. We got with her and Sun Eater, and people were shipping them like crazy. But regardless, I was liking like that character development. Like, yes, show how she met them, what she thinks about them as friends, how she got there. But that's all we got.
She was
and
a bit of a little stuck-up little girl, like at the beginning.
She wasn't.
She wasn't stuck up.
She was aloof. She was like,
she was aloof as a.
But the fact that we don't even know what she was is like so frustrating.
She wasn't stuck up. Sorry, people said she was stuck up, and that like made her grumpy, and then Sun Eater coming up to talk to her.
Oh, you mean in the panel? Yeah,
in the past.
She seemed shut off, and
yeah.
But I really liked that, but I just more
Sun Eater looked cool, by the way. Like with his he must have eaten a lot of food.
Was there like horse or something in there?
He must have gone to like barbecue or something.
There was like a weird. They were all pointing out like the weird stuff that he ate.
Yeah,
but. If anything, I can give like 100% of positivity feedback. It's the art. It is phenomenal.
Yeah.
It is next level. It is absolutely great, and I'm really liking the stuff that we're getting.
And I don't think I think this is the only thing I've had. The big three is the only thing I had an issue with this whole arc. I think it's all been going really well. But of course, here's the big thing: Bakugo, his heart stopped.
Yeah, he's giving out a final big attack.
Yeah.
And
I'm interested, Edgar. Who is narrating this? Like I am interested because there is a narrator who is saying things.
One would assume it was like President Mike because he's the usual one that explains the quirks.
Ones. Yeah, but he's not. But Deku is also a narrator.
But he's telling the story. Yeah.
But also like the narrator started speaking like in this arc, and it was I think it might be All Might. Like I think
we do see him talking or looking at talking to All Might.
Talking to All Might's vestige, which I think is great.
Which is interesting,
yes, of course,
because not only did they show the second user.
Yeah.
Which we saw only like a blurry or him sulking out in the corner, not looking towards like, you know, the panel camera. I'm just gonna say camera, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Not looking towards the camera. Not only did we see that, which people had speculations and big theories for.
Oh yeah.
The back you go theory is what they called it. But you know, this is you know, part of the thing that All Might explains is the form of life what the users have in the power. That was really stupid. It is the users within the quirk is how they see it.
Yeah.
And Bakugo is looking at a visage of All Might, who is still alive, but Deku only saw it with the cluster of other visages in the second season, like way back then.
Yeah.
So why is Bakugo seeing that version of All Might? Because if he was talking to All Might like, oh, I'm about to die, he would just show All Might regularly. But no, he's seeing it as a visage, like the way Deku would see it in All for One. Sorry, One for All, which is, you know, it's kind of confirming that Bakugo might have a bigger play within the One for All quirk, and he might be the second user because he clearly showed the second user within this chapter. I don't think
he is the second user.
Why would they show that then? Like, why would they show him? Like, and he looks so much like him.
But
like,
I think his quirk. I think that second quirk might.
It's literally Shigaraki says this random extra who doesn't even possess One for All, and then it shows the second user.
Ooh.
That is literally what happens. Like,
well, that might be like a flashback, but we'll see.
Flashback or forward? Who knows?
He's also All for One now, and All for One kills the second user, right? Because we know the second user saved the first user from like imprisonment with All for One. But so what I think is maybe I'm not down for the time travel. If it happens, fine.
Really
whatever.
looks like
it really looks like it's going to happen. What I think is maybe the second user maybe has like a soul quirk, and maybe that second user, like maybe that quirk can jump into like the body of Bakugo or something.
Or maybe Deku will be able to do something with that.
Because why else would his quirk, you know?
All I gotta say is that there are three things that can happen. Obviously, maybe more, but the three things that I can see in a vague way that can happen. Only one of them will I be okay with.
Yeah.
One, he comes back to life, whether your way or some other way. He comes back to life, which I won't like because this is the second cop out that we had. And if he does come back, I don't see Bakugo playing another bigger role in the fight after this, unless he gets super revived. But I'll be like, come on,
I think he will be revived, but I think it'll be more than he's just revived, you know?
Yeah, and I won't personally like that because realistically I'd be like, oh, he's all back to normal. And it'll be the second cop out, like, what is the literal point of, like, faking out again
exactly.
on his death?
Unless there is a big story element that Horikoshi has planned, why else would this happen? That's why I think it's going to be something big and something interesting.
Yeah. My call is that if that happens, I don't see it happening well. And the second reason, if he stays dead, I won't really like, but I will take more gracefully than the other one. Right. Because, like, if he's dead, keep him dead. I'm like, I don't want another, like, you know, like for the first reason, if he stays dead, maybe have some backstory and flesh out his character while he's in this, like, state, you know. But either way, if he stays dead, I'll be upset that it ends up being this way. But I'll take it, you know, more like, you know, okay, I get it. Like, if you wanted to keep him dead, great. Add stakes. Builds like whatever you have Horikoshi for what this sets up or leads up to, great. Have consequences. I'm all for it. Third will be I'm more skeptical on, but I'll be okay with having more Bakugo in terms of alive, you know, to say, you know, with an asterisk on that. You know, with the time travel theory, if that is true, or some version of it, we'll be getting Bakugo not obviously present here, but like with the One for All quirk that he's with the visage of All Might that he's seeing. I don't even know where that could go. Whether it's time travel or whether he's connected to One for All in one way with through Deku or through Right Now, however he's doing it.
If that does happen, it would be something with Eri.
But how?
So it would have to be because Horikoshi said that she has a big part to play in this final.
Mirio's already. I mean, well, he mentioned that after the mirrors reveal, I guess.
Yeah.
But how would Bakugo being able to speak to All For One how would Eri have an effect on that, other than her reviving him?
I think Eri's quirk is different from what everyone thinks. Because remember, Eri touched her father, and they said he disappeared. They didn't say that he reverted back to like a sperm cell. They say he disappeared. So it makes me think that she also has the ability to send people back in time, which I think is a possibility. The only reason why I'm like, if you send Bakugo back in time, I want that to be its own freaking arc. You know, I want Bakugo's solo arc if he gets sent back in time to do that thing. But I feel like doing that right now would just feel so out of place. That's why I didn't think it was ever going to happen.
I thought, when I said that I have no idea what is in plan, if that's what does happen, it can have like they could, piece it together.
Yes.
Because a time travel moment has to have stuff set up from the past, but also stuff that affects the future. Yeah. So he could, if that is what to happen, it could like move forward at the same time. Well, the past reveals the future, and the future, affects the past.
But if
vice
that
versa.
is Bakugo, then he has to die. Like he can't. He's dead because he can't. Because All Might is still alive and his vestige isn't fully formed yet.
Yeah,
he's not dead yet. So if he dies, then he has to stay in the past and die in the past
and contribute something, of course.
Of course. Now,
other than powering up, one for all.
What his quirk is, it might be, that his. What I think is going to happen is I think the second vestige in Bakugo is going to fuse somehow, and that's how he comes back to life. That's what I think is going to happen. But I think if that does happen, like you gotta commit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but if it's done well, I'm okay with that third option for me with Bakugo with the time travel, and all that.
I'm not okay with that one actually. I'm like if you did it, if you were going to do it. I wish that they would have done it in the last arc so that we could have had a separate arc. And maybe like while Bakugo's back in time, Deku's vigilanteisms, that could have been happening, side by side. But instead, we just didn't,
Either way, either of these options, we gotta admit that it's kind of coming too close to rushed, where I feel like we're not seeing that.
We're not seeing enough.
Yeah,
I agree.
We're only seeing the end game, and it's coming close, and the final acts, and I feel like we're not having enough moments or enough things to be. Oh yeah, it's branching out, but I'm not seeing.
I mean, I don't want it to be like, oh, it's not what I thought, therefore I don't like it, because I do like it. I love My Hero. I love everything that Horikoshi has done, and it's his story. Let him do what he wants. But I just thought the vigilante arc. Or I guess the escapee from Tartarus arc, whatever. I'm gonna call it the vigilante arc because I think that's cooler.
Yeah, people will confuse it for the manga, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm just like that could have gone on for longer. We could have had Gentle Criminal in there. We could have had the vigilante manga people in there. And I still think they're gonna show up in this manga. I still think Koichi from that manga is going to show up in this because he's at the end of the manga. He's in America, okay? And that's where he is. So I think he's going to show up here eventually. But I'm just like why hasn't this been, where is this? Is this the end? Because if this is the end, I hope not. I hope this is only the beginning of the arc. If this is the first part of 3 parts of this arc, fine. Do whatever you want, But if this is the end of the, getting towards the end of the arc, I am concerned, just as I was for Haikyuu.
Yeah. The first option, with Bakugo being revived, either fully or somewhat, it could branch off to more and not be the end. But if he stays dead, it's pretty much the end. Well, not end, but this is it, the final act.
He has to die.
But if the third option is could add more stuff or whether past or whether it's done good or well, that'll continue it more. But either way, I can feel like it's starting to get rushed.
But
I'm not really liking what I'm seeing with the possibilities.
Another reason why I think that the time travel one isn't real, because like I said, if he goes back in time, he has to die. He has to.
Yeah,
and
I'm fine with that.
He has to die. But I don't think Horikoshi is killing Bakugo. And maybe I should have said this at the beginning. I don't think he's dead. I don't think Horikoshi is going to kill Bakugo for 2 reasons. 1, he's a child, and 2,
child's dying. I mean, like
right, but not in this manga.
he could. This could be first. I mean, who knows?
This could be a first, but he's not. And 2, I don't think the death threats are worth it. You know, like the death threats if it's bad now, it's going to get far worse than, you know, and I don't want that to contribute, but I also
But will it be? Could it be a good story? Is what I'm saying.
It could be, but I don't think he would do it. Do I want it?
He's already doing enough. He's he's starting to dig the hole already.
Do I care? Do I care if Bakugo dies? No, I don't care. If he dies and it's great, that's fine. Yeah. But do I think he'll do it? No, I don't.
I think he might do it, and it's very strongly that he will do it. And if he does it, I hope it's in the way where we can still see more of him, of his character, through this whatever the heck we're seeing, time travel or not, which I probably believe, because that what I showed you, it really makes me feel like he has something's gonna happen with him, with a second user or time travel, whatever.
Obviously,
we're gonna be seeing more because it has to be explained.
Why is he seeing? Why is he seeing All Might's vestiges?
Like that, yeah.
But it makes me think that maybe Deku is closer than we think.
Yeah,
you know,
because here's I'm already thinking up things. So time travel or not, but if he is a second user in some weird way, Deku still hasn't used his second user quirk, and he still has a threat in front of him to come. A big reveal to confirm that in a cool way is for Deku to solve a situation, an explosion quirk. He uses that'll officially confirm. I just thought it just came up in my mind. I feel like it would be cool if that would officially confirm that Bakugo has something to do with the second user or is a second user.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's obviously a connection there. Now, what connection is it? I don't know. But this is what I love about Horikoshi.
But Bakugo is Deku's dad.
Yeah, that would be great. Oh my god.
You know when I said your mom all those years ago? I actually meant it.
I actually did it. Deku.
Deku!
Deku, your mom's hot. Deku, go to your room.
You know when I was giving you all that advice, but not really? I was actually being a dad and a big dad to you.
Yeah. This is how dad should act.
Jump off a roof and take a swan dive off the roof. But anyway... It's just funny. I love the memes that that all the fans are like. I'm not seeing it firsthand. I only see people making fun of those fans who would be mad at Horikoshi.
Exactly, and that's what I talk about. You know, obviously Horikoshi gets a lot of death threats. I don't want him to formulate his story around that, but I also think
can we cancel? Can we cancel these people? Can we dox them for real?
Yeah,
we see it with politicians, but sending death threats so many to this point. If you see someone doing that, can we do that same punishment to those people? Because that is unacceptable, and I really don't want to see that.
And it happens a lot, and especially for my hero.
I've kind of had enough with these. We can have bad fandoms, but that's to the point where all right, this is enough.
It's absurd,
we gotta have some kind of punishment towards those people because I do not want to see that at all anymore, which is just unacceptable. Not that I'm saying I'm gonna do it, but if you have the power to do it. I'm gonna look the other direction.
I'm gonna do it. No,
I'm gonna do it. Yeah. I'm gonna hack my way into their computers.
Yeah,
but either way, please don't do that kind of stuff to them.
No, definitely
please
not.
don't.
And Horikoshi, don't change your story based on that. But I am.
Regardless, I am very interested in seeing what happens next. Even if it ends up one of those paths that I don't like, I want to know what happens.
This is what I love about Horikoshi is you can kind of some things you can tell what's going to happen, but for every spoilers for anime. If you're still here, what are you doing?
Why would they be listening at this point?
Yeah, exactly. But Dabi being Todoroki's, bro, we knew that. We knew that was going to happen. That was a big fan theory that happened ever since season 3. We knew that was going to happen.
I did not catch on that early.
But I knew about it from big My Hero Academia YouTubers like Turtle Quirk and Vocal Pineapple.
Yeah, that's probably why I wasn't talking with anyone about My Hero.
Truth Hero, all those people. But we knew that was going to happen. But in that arc, what we didn't, there was some stuff that we didn't see, like Mirio's return. Like Gigantomachia passing out, Mr. Compress being one of the sons of the general.
I didn't think Twice would die.
I didn't think Twice would die. Exactly. For every single
Star and Stripes, I did not expect something like that to happen.
Like for every time there is, and that's what I think is really good about storytelling is that like if you built something up, deliver on it. But that doesn't mean that you can't add things that are unexpected as long as it's true to the world, which is what Horikoshi does. And I think he does that brilliantly. So we're excited. We're cautious, but excited to see what happens next.
Yeah. Sign me up. I'm looking forward to the next. Surprise me, Horikoshi. Really do. Either way, everyone who's threatening him, stay away. But that pretty much wraps it up. We hopefully next week should have some, obviously, more news, but maybe Black Clover. Ben has read a good chunk of it. Hopefully, we should be able to be talking about that. Either way, relatively soon. Expect that to be coming up.
Also, remember, be sure to check out our review of Dragon Ball Super Superhero that came out 2 days ago. Yeah.
It should be out by that point.
Edgar, what do you think about the movie?
We're in the future. I have no idea. Or actually, technically, I should, but
I
also
thought it was great. Yeah.
I thought it was great, even though I haven't seen it.
Well,
we're doing a time travel now.
Well, from us to the past to you in the future.
I'm
we'll
confused.
Catch you guys in the future.
Or in the past.
To you.
Bye-bye.
A week from now.
Maybe.